something real special for you now. Ready? Okay.
I've been reminded that that record of Joe Dolce's was recorded in 35 different languages, and it sounded crap in all of them.
Eins, zwei, Viertel vor drei. Schon als junger Mann war mir eines lieb und klar. Irgendwann werd ich ein Superstar. So was von Talent, ja das sage ich laut, wird heute gar nicht mehr gebaut.
Driven from his native Ohio, presumably by a mob with flaming torches and pitchforks, Joe settled in Melbourne, Australia, where he works as a performance artist and apparently blues harmonica advisor on Unhinged Gardener's Question Time.
Wandilada ningona, midanaya minona, midanaya kurku, midanaya rigwanina, midanaya jaja waji walnamaya menada wangana ningana gumba. When I was a boy, just about the 8th grade, Mama used to say, don't stay out late. With the bad boys, Giuseppe, always shoot the pool, going to flunk a school.
Two seminal events in my childhood led to my musical, sort of the seeds. Three, actually. My dad smashed a hole in my bass drum that he'd bought me when I was about 8. I made a 9-string guitar, and he pulled all the strings off and broke that in half. And the last thing I remember, when the first time we saw the Beatles on television, he said they'll last a week. So I knew from that, those were the early musical influences. And then I fell in love when I was in high school with this college honor students who used to sing in French and play guitar.
Presumably she wasn't singing this.
When the Shut Up Your Face first came out, I remember running around down the street in the Italian neighborhood where I used to hang out and actually apologizing in advance to all my favorite places.
It actually is extraordinarily racist in its concept, and he's really rude about the Italians in a way that they truly do not deserve.
It was basically the Caucasians, you know, the white Anglo-Saxons that had a problem with it because they were afraid that their Italian friends were going to be insulted by their laughing at this song, but the Italians laughed too. Everyone had a good laugh together.
What's the matter, you? Hey, gotta know respect. What do you think you do? Why you look so sad?
My background was Italian, and I'm not insulting anybody. I'm just talking about my grandma. So, you know, I usually could explain it, but, you know, it was because it was such a touchy subject, you know. I mean, it's hard to even imagine it now. We've grown up with multiculturalism in the last 20 years, but in the 80s it was really a touchy thing.
Big violin solo, hung!
To prove his intentions were honourable, Joe and his mate, Vietnamese comic Hung Lee, recorded an anti-racist version aimed at Australia's One Nation party.
They're basically a fairly ignorant party, you know, that basically are fed up with Asian immigration and a lot of other issues here.
I don't know why they want to keep the Asians out. The Asians invented the spaghetti. First, if they want to keep the Asians out, then they're going to want to keep the spaghetti out. And later, you messing with my spaghetti, you're going to mess with me. You don't have to worry about no Asian innovation. You're going to be worrying about the minutes from Venice.
It's an unlikely song to have been a success, really, if you think about it. Novelty's not quite the word. It's more like unlikely because it didn't fit in any market. And yet it still got through to people's hearts.
Je moet leren, dit lied is heel simpel. Kijk, ik zing, hou de toog eens in. En hoe zingt, hey! En dan zing ik de rest. En dan in de einde allemaal, houd door de kop. Oké, laten we proberen. 1, 2, 3, 4, wat is er aan de hand? Hey, doe toch eens normaal. Hey. Wie denken wel dat je bent, hè? Hey. Het is een groot schandaal. Hey. It's not so bad. Hey. It's a nicer place. Shut up your face. Mwah! Great, everybody gets an A+.
The sing-along part of Shut Up Your Face was never intended to be in the song. I originally wrote it with just the hey and the line, but after I began to sing this, you know, in night after night of playing these tough little clubs, eventually people would just kept doing the hey. So and then I realized, wait a minute, I'll just leave that in. So the audience actually wrote that part themselves, you know.
So Joe Public helped Joe Dolce keep rock's most notorious pencil tash off the top.
I think Shut Up Your Face kept a few in the #2 spot. Ultraviolet sort of made a career out of talking about how much they hate Shut Up Your Face. I mean, pretty pathetic if you ask me. I thought it was dead funny, that Shut Up Your Face, you know. Great chorus. I wish we'd come up with it.
Tonight I'll watch the moon and then the Pleiades go. Yeah, the best way to understand where I am now with relate to where I was with Shut Up Your Face is you got to understand that Shut Up Your Face was something that captured the imagination of the public, right? Where I am now is not capturing the imagination of the public. And in this low light. And Bach was the one who showed me that, because Bach, his whole life, he wasn't recognized. That's my role model now, because I believe that I can earn a living and I can be successful and I can keep my music moving incrementally in the direction it has to go, right? And whether I'm discovered or not in 100 years, who cares? Because I'm dead, right? I could kill it. But it's possible.